Irti.
This is the last session of the CEE meeting. No one's sad? Clap. I hope you all enjoyed it and also learned a lot at this conference. I enjoyed the workshops a lot, and thank you all for participating this actively in this meeting. My name is Filip Kopecki. I'm on the steering committee of the CEE Hub. We have some other distinguished people on the stage with us, but you'll get to know them in a second. I'll just want to show you what we're going to talk about in the next 45 to 60 minutes, depending on how lively the discussion will be about certain points. We will first look at what happened in the last 9 months in terms of the CEE Hub. Barbara and Tony will talk about this. Then we'll talk about what the plans are for next year. Those of you who've already taken part in the workshop yesterday kind of already have an idea what that's going to be, but we're just going to recap it and summarize it. And then we'll talk about the new steering committee for the next year, and hopefully reach a consensus on all those propositions that we have. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask them straight away in the Q&A, so not in the actual presentation. But we will have 3 Q&A blocks, so you'll have plenty of time to ask questions about certain aspects that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, it's Barbara and Tony's turn.
Hello, hi everyone. Remember when we started with my opening speech and I told you that I will be talking for 55 minutes? I meant now, so that will be the time. And we are starting with last year, year 1, hobby year 1, and we are starting with success stories. And we would just like to mention a few. So obviously, in our eyes, because we were doing a lot as full-time persons engaged with this, grant application support, learning sessions, community channels, establishment, it was all a success. But what feels like a real success, as examples, is, and I mentioned just few here, for example, from not having a contact person in a community to helping that community to submit their first grant. So here, thank you, Anna from Cyprus. Second, from talking to a group that no one has really big ties with to supporting their first already approved rapid grant application and supporting their Wikidata training. It's our user group from Albania, Albanian user group. Then from being told that we also, we find success, our Wiki Loves Earth session, which we explained, mapped processes, and then helped some to start local campaign. And also important one, being able to give out scholarships for this CEE conference to several people, 2 youth group members, Jan and Janer, who are here and with whom we did some amazing things these days, so which was a great idea, and also Hayala from Kazakhstan. She was also able to attend and connect to people. So, and maybe one of the biggest ones, from not having CEE youth group even in our plans, and now organizing our first in-person meeting, which will take place in Prague in November. So these are some of the things that we really feel good about, some things that really happened.
And now also we have this not yet success stories that we plan to do, we make to do, but it is not still happening. We cannot see the results in the moment, but it is still developing. So as you know, also the affiliates asking about external funds. Also, we are asking external funds, and this is like writing first in external grant application. This is ongoing process. We will see how it went. It is unknown, and we will share the results in the first moment when we know that. Also, very important topic, and that is important not just for affiliates, but also for defining the hubs itself, is the governance process that almost all of you, me and Barbara and Philip, we have extensive communication, consultation processes about governance of the hub, how it will be defined in the future, how it will be looked the process and the model of the governance. Also, we started just recently with the brand studio of the foundation team from the foundation to have our logo. That is good to have. CEE Hub to have a new logo, but it is not so important, but it's okay, and it will be good to have it. And also, it's substantial support, not just for for one or two communities, but also to have for in the Central and Eastern Europe, for other individuals, not to have just Barbara mentioned Cyprus and Albania, but also to have more numerous examples of the region.
Okay, so I also want to talk about potential we see, and those are the things that we started doing in this year, or that we saw that it could be something substantial later on. So currently we have two freelance researchers who were doing some research regarding communities in the CEE, and we are hoping that we will be able to use these findings in our year 2 for Hub. Basically, they were trying to, Violeta, some of you met her, she's with us. Also during this CEE conference, she's mapping processes of approaching smaller, not affiliated communities, and her research will be very helpful in establishing plans how to approach those who need most support from us. Also, we would like, based on this research, to create concrete work with one or two, well, it could be more, but at least 1-2 smaller communities. And we would like to develop our microgrant program that you will hear more about during our next slides. Also connected to this, we would like to see more inter-regional projects where several CEE communities are part of, working together, learning from each other. And as mentioned, we want to continue supporting CEE Youth Group, working with them, and having an amazing program together at Wikimedia next year. Woo!
And also the last slide is always the challenges that we have during our first year. As you know, and also at this conference here, this is the conference which is very diverse. We have more than 35 communities. They speak different languages. They have even controversies between them. So it is very hard to find them in the first place, to establish the contact, to make the first points, the first meetings with them, and from that point to start some initiatives. Also, it is it's happened to us when we and employees some communities want more communication, to be informed about everything that the hub is doing. The hub was doing maybe communicate with everyone everything, but some of you and some affiliates are okay, we don't want to receive so much information. We don't want to follow every information that you share on every platform. So it's finding the balance between these two important topics. It's like, for us, it's like very difficult sometimes. And we think that we will find like a good balance in the future. And you see us, like we are just two of us, so it's trying to find to make our best with our times here, like as an employees. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't make it. We postpone some things, and for the first year, personally, I think that we make a lot because I'm doing here like only for 7 months, but for year 2, I suppose it will be more organized and like because now we have a foundation, we meet with all of you.
Natalia? So this part will be covered by Natalia Szafran-Kozakovska.
Hi, everyone. I think that most of you know me, but I will introduce myself anyway. I'm Natalia Szafran-Kozakovska. I work at the Wikimedia Foundation as a regional specialist for the European region. And also, I'm an advisor to the CEE Hub. And, I was walking very fast, sorry. I'll be talking a little bit, just as the CEE Hub, I'll be talking a little bit about the international outlook of the CEE Hub. So, when we are talking about the fact that the CEE Hub is the first ever regional pilot hub in the Wikimedia movement, it's important, it's pioneering, it's amazing, but this is not the only thing. The actual thing that is really important and unique about the CEE Hub on the global scale is that this is the organization which has been created bottom up. From the first moment when the CEE Hub was invented, it was inclusive, it was open, and it was built by the communities and people who have been working together, and it didn't lose that element. So that way of creating an organization, when you start through working together, through doing things, and also doing this with joy, which is probably not the first thing you think about when you think about creating an organization, I think this way of working on an organization is something that the CEE Hub can share globally. And we will have more and more opportunities to do that on different local conferences, on different local meetings, because this unique knowledge from the movement needs to be shared between all the other people who are up there working on their hubs. Also, there is a lot of curiosity around it, because the hubs have been the hot topic of the movement. Everyone wants to know what they are, how to create one, and how you do it. And I think the CEE Hub is carefully watched with curiosity and hopefully also with some appreciation from other regions who wants to learn, and the CEE was always about sharing knowledge. The CEE Hub has been working, as you heard from Barbara and Tony, for a year now, achieved a lot of things, and has built a lot of bridges and networks. It has built a stable and good cooperation with the Wikimedia Foundation. We are in good communication and working together on different things, from human rights, event organizing, learning about the region, and also movement communications. And I will once again use this moment to invite you to the bi-monthly CEE catch-up meetings, which are organized together by the CEE Hub and the movement communications team at the Wikimedia Foundation. The Wikimedia Foundation, as you heard, is also helping to create the CEE Hub visual logo and all the visual identity. It will be really cool, hopefully. And I think there is a lot of more opportunities and aspects and ways the Wikimedia Foundation and the Hub can cooperate to make the region thrive. And I'm really happy seeing a lot of Wikimedia Foundation stuff here. This will also, probably there are a lot of cooperations going on thanks to this meeting already. Also, the CEE Hub has been active in talking about how the movement should be governed, how it should work, how the future of the movement look. The CEE Hub Steering Committee met with the Movement Charter Drafting Committee to provide the feedback, mostly about the chapter about the hubs, and to talk how it looks from a perspective of an organization who is already implementing movement strategy on a very practical and working level. So this happened, and I hope that the feedback was very useful for the MCDC. And this all is in line with how we as a Wikimedia movement are being more regional in the way we work as a global movement. We are global, we are all over the world, but we constantly need to know that there is a local context to everything we do. And this is something that the regional hubs will bring, and this is something that has been also a thing that the Wikimedia Foundation is doing more and more, to have this regional focus and being close to the community. So those two things, those change in the Wikimedia movement work perfectly together. I think we are also very proud and happy to see that the people from the CEE region have been so active globally in many leadership, organizing, committee roles all over. We have CEE representatives in the Movement Charter Drafting Committee in AFCOM, in the Board of Trustees, quite a lot of them. So the perspective and the voice of this very unique region is heard globally and is growing. And I think thanks to the work we are doing here with the CEE Hub, there will be even more of this. And as you can see, also the Wikimedia Cuteness Association is well represented in the CEE movement.
Okay, now we get to the final part of the review. We've been talking about the governance model for a while now. We've looked at different models. Yesterday we talked about it a lot. The only conclusion we came to really is that it's a complex thing if we want to make it fair and equitable. Like, we can make a system right away, but we will probably exclude quite a few people who want to be part of this whole process, you know. So in the end, I think like what matters for us is that like we, as a CEE community, can define our membership. So that means we can maybe create a model where we have a different mixture of various models that make everyone of you like feel part of this process and feel part of like what we're doing, because that's in effect the goal that we want to achieve with this governance model. So we will keep working on this, and we will hopefully have a better idea of it in a few months' time. So yeah, also happy to talk about it in the Q&A that's going to follow in a few minutes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mehman, you can take it.
All right now.
Let me use that one. So we are moving on Q&A session. So do you have any questions regarding what Barbara, Tony, and Philip said? And do you want to express your ideas, suggestions? Come on, people. Well, if no questions, I think we can approve what you suggest.
We don't need to approve the...
Yeah. Okay, let's move. You can take care.
Hey, once again, this is now it's our plan to present in front of you like what we will be doing in the year 2 plan. This first slide is what we're doing also in this first year of our work, but also what we're continuing in the next grant. As you know, administrative support was one of the main factors what the CEE Hub it was formed to ease administrative burden of the communities and organizations that are not having a staff. So on that way, they will have support to find in the employees of the CEE Hub. So we will continue doing that, also reviewing of the grant applications. As Barbara mentioned already, so that is a continuation of that process. Also, we plan to continue event organization support, like not just when you're doing like event in your local countries, you can ask request from us, like support for doing that local event. Also, we help that to Albanian user group. Like they ask for like Wikidata training, and we find Marius from Greece, and he traveled in Tirana, and he participated in their local conference, not their local conference, but OSCO conference that was meant for open society. So on that way, we CEE Hub can network the people that exist already and work on that field. Also, the second area that it is meant to continue is programmatic support. As it's already mentioned, we plan to continue doing learning sessions. I think many of you already attend on, or at least one learning session that we organized. Also, in this program, it is organization also in support of the main editing contents that our region have it, CEE Spring. Yes, CEE Hub is not the organizer of the CEE Spring, but it provided us support in finding, in contacting the communities, in easing the job of the Volunteers International team this year. Also, we make the documentation for participation for local coordinators. That was something that we can do this year. Also, it is we started facilitation of the process for the next CEE meeting, and we will talk more also during this presentation about where it will be the next CEE meeting. And also, it was planned, but we don't organize. It will be something new also to have technical innovations or tools to be provided for the communities. This will be something new in our plan, and it is planned for the year 2 to have it. Innovations or tools to be provided, or at least to be easier to use for the communities, because I talked on this conference with many of you, it's very hard to find even the tools that already existed, so that's it's our plan. And also, we at the end we plan to continue meeting with you online and offline. Now, Barbara. Oh, yeah. And yes, communication. This is I believe you don't read it, but I think you already know we established again CEE newsletter. Now we have a new editor-in-chief, Young Jan from Czech Republic, which will be our new editor-in-chief, along with the support of the CEE Hub staff. We plan it to continue doing the newsletter, and I will use this opportunity to invite you to send us your proposals, articles, suggestions, opinions, or something that you want to be promoted with others to use the CEE newsletter, because it's a tool that when you can read about something that is happening in other parts of the CEE region. Here we have like a lot of topics that we plan to do next year, and I will highlight the most important one, like onboarding sessions that we plan to do like for board members. That is not happening right now, and it's very needed, but it is very needed. So our plan is to have it like when some of you have like a new board member to have a session or a training about that new board member into your organization. And also, it will be a very important part of the year 2 plan to create a friendly space policy and also universal code of conduct that is expecting to be held next year. Friendly space policy existed, but universal code of conduct is still process of ratification, and we need to implement the code of conduct. So CEE Hub will provide support for that also. It has many other activities, but you can read it in our annual plan. We can send the link in the Telegram group later, so you can read it like in details. And now, Clara.
Hi. I'm Clara from Wikimedia Czech Republic. I'm a steering committee member, and this is our plan for next year. So what happened with Wiki Youth? If you haven't heard yet, the one who did, sorry, but I tried to tell it different way. This wasn't a plan for this year, but what Barbara and Tony did was to talk to the most of you or to the representatives of your communities. And according to that, what we addressed was we have a wider steering, we have the steering committee, then we have the wider group of CEE, and that's important there where you can get more the information. If you're not yet there, you can be part of it and come to our frequent calls. And then there's the others, and there are affiliates. And from this survey and talks that happened, was quite obvious that there are, of course, communities that there are less represented. There are some individuals who finally was able to keep up, and Barbara and Tony talked with them. And so there we was thinking how we can engage these people, how we make this better in the future. So of course, like there was one idea, and this was to combine these forces and bring young people who usually are the individuals that are alone in the communities, bring them somehow together. And as you can imagine, all of you probably know that this just works, that young people like to communicate, that they're as well very often speaks English. So this is something that we combine together, and we ask you on the wider group if this could be the good idea. And this was as well the first actual project that we could run as other horizontal net to combine the forces and to bring people more together. So we created this CEE youth group on April maybe this year, and we always want to ask them first. So we sent some offer. We invited them. Hey guys, are you interested to be part of this? We ask you to help us with this, and of course most of you did. So now we have 15, 20 people from the region who is interested in broader cooperation. And the next year we would like, of course, to continue on this, because as you see people here, Jan, Janer, Mari, Lan, and all the others, Denis, who are quite active. That's something that I think can really work in the future as well. please, everyone, tell in your communities and invite your young people up to 26 so far, and they can be part of this. We want to have 2 meetings in person because this is what they are interested in, and we have calls on frequent basis, once in 2 months, and we will be planning again with them how they want to facilitate the process of be more inclusive, especially on Wikimania in Krakow next year, because this is something that we hope that will help organizing team, that will help the community, and that we will be able as well to display their work better and more. I hope that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay. We also wanted to share one photo from Friday evening session that we had here with our youth group. And there were also some participants present from their homes, so it was a hybrid meeting. Okay? Okay, and now this first part of the sessions for the year 2 plan, we were explaining things that were happening already during the year 1. And now we want to show what we plan to add to our grant proposal. So we don't know if this will be approved, but these are some proposals that we have. So we noticed basically during this year 1 that something that would be good to have is microgrants. We got this idea because we had one budget line which was regarding purchasing on-demand promo swag materials. This was the only part of our budget that we were able to give out to communities on demand. And out of that, and while doing it, we got the idea how it would be handy to have a maybe slightly bigger amount and be able to give out microgrants to various communities. So in order to do this, we would have to create guidelines, simple ones, launch open call for communities, and depending on the amount of money we get, we hope that we would be able to award at least 7 microgrants and then also help in implementation of these. And well, this is to be determined. After this, another new addition to the plan is community building. So as I explained before, there is Violeta, our researcher, who is working currently on the research plan and recommendations on precise community building of less organized communities. And based on her research, we would define which precisely communities would be that we plan to support concretely and lead them during our next year of implementation. So to have that, we would need to employ one more person. That would be our 3rd employee. And that person would be exclusively focusing on supporting these communities. That means getting in touch with members, Wikimedians active there, establishing connections with other outside partners, possible partners, and trying to make more concrete plan strategy for that group. Also, we have a work package that we call CEE Hub Incubator, and this is also something that has to be approved, decided by Wikimedia Foundation, but it would be about interregional projects. Hub would be the body that can decide which 1-2 projects, interregional ones, can be supported. And when I say interregional, it means that at least 3 communities from the CEE would have to take part in that project. Okay. So what will be better after we implement this year 2 plan? Wojciech will tell you about that.
Hello, people. I've used this phrase before. I used this yesterday, so I'm going to use it again. I have a dream. I have a dream that by the time we meet again during the CEE meeting next year, place and date to be determined, we will be able to say a few things. We will be able to say that there is more structure, there is more stability for our regional CEE processes. This is what I hope we will be able to say. We will be able to say that we have given less developed communities more capacity locally and regionally, also thanks to the research that's being done by Violeta, that is being concluded, that we spoke about yesterday in the working groups when we were discussing this plan. I hope we will be able to say we've got more awareness among CE communities about technical tools and projects. This is something that we wanted to do even in year 1, but the regular day has only 24 hours, and nobody among the steering committee members has developed multi-location, like being in different places at the same time, yet. Thank you. But yes, we still remember that we want to share the knowledge of the existing tools, that we want to share the possibility of adapting these tools for your projects, and that your projects will generate content all better, all that more easily. My next dream, more networking, knowledge exchange and collaboration between CE communities. Join us on the bi-weekly meetings if you want. Join the learning sessions, join Let's Connect, join the catch-ups. This is what we are delivering, so that is more knowledge exchange. Talk to each other. My last dream? Easier access to funds and more time to focus on the actual work. With microgrants and incubator that Barbara has just said, we have seen stories of success of microgrant programs around the movement. We want to bring them to the CE level, to the regional level. Yes, I have a dream. These are my dreams.
Okay, so we also have a timeline for our grant. We have to write it basically by the end of this month, so that we can apply at Wikimedia Foundation. We split the grant, as I explained previously, into core activities. Those are the ones that we are already implementing, and those things that we are suggesting as new ones will be marked as optional activities. So we hope that they will also be approved. Then there is a process of the Wikimedia Foundation staff will review our grant, and if awarded, our new grant would start from December. And as soon as the grant is approved, also based on what we told, we would be hiring a new person, and incubator program would start, as well as implementation of all the other work packages that I mentioned. You can't read this, obviously, because it's too small, but there is a timeline of 2024. That is how we were also building these work packages, activities, and plans. I sent several times, so not me, Tony and me, Hub, we sent and shared several times this year 2 plan, as well as a timeline, so you have it. But if you don't or you lost it, we can share it again if you want to read it more in detail. This is the way how activities are then per package explained per month, so you can see what is happening and how we plan to implement it throughout the year. And that's basically it. Now Mehman will help us again with questions and answers.
Yes, you already heard from our CE Hub Steering Committee. Oops. Sorry. So you already heard from our steering committee members the plan for the next year, the proposal. So now our steering committee members want to know if you have any questions regarding that plan, or maybe you have some suggestions or wishes. I don't know if you can accommodate all wishes, but at least we can count on some wishes will be done for the next year. So do you have any questions?
Hi, it's Maciej. What is the amount for the microgrants that you're looking at? Like the per grant, right?
Can you repeat it, because we really don't hear well here?
Okay, so what is the grant, microgrant, like proposed, like size or
yeah,
sum,
now I hear
or
it.
what's the amount? Yes.
So we are in a process of writing grant applications, so it wasn't written. We were suggesting amount between 500 to 7. It's not decided completely. We also yesterday had workshop about year 2 plan, so we received some suggestions. I don't know if the person who was leading this micro grant working group could maybe share some updates. Oh yeah, Michał, were there some suggestions? Because it was happening yesterday.
Wait for the microphone, maybe.
Because just to repeat once again, we have this plan, and based on your feedback, we will rewrite the version that we want to submit. So Michał will tell a bit about feedback.
So there were suggestions. 500 looks okay. 1,000 would be even better as the top amounts. Also, there was a suggestion for a minimum threshold, so not less than $50 or 10% of maximum threshold. Also, so the people do not submit, I don't know, micro grants like for $10, because processing would be too difficult.
So the answer is we were thinking 7, new suggestion is 1,000, and we will decide what that will be. Maciej, please.
Yeah, don't worry. Hi everyone. I wanted to congratulate you for the first year of the hub. That goes to the entire steering committee, to the staff. Did a great job from, well, the first meeting many years ago, but like the first real meeting last year in Ohrid. So congratulations are in order, not only questions, but that comes to the second part. We as Wikimedians have a weird way of doing things. Luckily, in the CEE Hub process, it hasn't paralyzed us. I believe it gave us some strength. But there were some hiccups and some slowdowns. So I wanted to ask you, you mentioned some, Wojciech mentioned that one of his dreams, he sure sleeps a lot if he has that many dreams, but that's, but that's between me and him. You mentioned that you want to improve the governance structure, and I remember that during the conversations we had at the workshop yesterday, you mentioned that hopefully present, I don't know, a reform or something new by the CEE meeting 2024. I wanted to ask you, what are your plans to avoid design by committee? If we want to design a new structure, how do we make sure that the current structure doesn't slow down the process and we can effectively reach it by that time? As next year, we were also saying that in a year at the next CEE meeting, we will have a new structure.
So it's basically a governance. And
So you're referring to the governance discussion earlier, right? Yeah. So I think we've gotten a bit further because we're not actually going to like search for a new model, but like try to encompass everyone who's engaged in the CEE Hub in a way that befits like the community they're in and also like who they represent. And that way we know like now that we need this membership approach rather than like having one specific model that then makes others excluded from that model. So in most likelihood, it will be something of a mixture between affiliates, between communities, and we will see how, like, especially like non-organized communities will be able to take part in this process because they do have a role in this process, but we'll also have to define like what the role is and what the requirements are for them to take part in it. So for example, like, could they agree on like writing on the village pump, like this is the person who's like our spokesperson, at least for like the CEE Hub matters, and then have that spokesperson also be like involved in the decision-making processes. So things like that are doable, I think. And of course, like of affiliates, we expect more because they're organized. So you can't just write on the village pump, like, yeah, this is the person. But like have like the members of the organization decide who is like speaking for them. So that's probably like the mixed approach we will take. It's just, I think, important to note that like none of the current approaches work, and the affiliates model itself has its drawbacks, as you probably all are aware of in one way or another. And it's just not something we want to perpetuate into the future. Yeah. Does that answer the question? Okay, great, thank you.
Asaf?
I would like to ask a question on behalf of the maybe smaller groups here who find it hard to keep up with all the information, all the opportunities, all the conversations that are going on. So I'm not a member of such a group, but trying to psychologically project myself into one. My question to the hub or the hub steering group is, if we cannot afford to pay attention to everything, what one or two big things do you really want us, the smaller groups, the groups without as many resources, to be involved? What one or two things do you want us to pay attention to? Big open questions, big opportunities, inputs you need from us, smaller groups, etc. I hope the question is clear.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Asaf, for a good question, because as mentioned before, we are often not afraid, but yeah, we are worried that our publishing things on Telegram, mailing lists, Facebook, forum, newsletter, that it's overwhelming, and if you're a volunteer, you don't have time to, well, if you have a life and you don't have time to follow all that. So the answer is you can follow two things. Mailing list, because all opportunities and important things we are sending via mailing list. There is a wide CEE mailing list that we now reviewed and it's updated. If someone is thinking that it's not on that list or wants to check, get in contact with us, with Tony or me, and newsletter. So those two things would be. On Telegram, we also publish things or invite you, but most important things, opportunities will be on the mailing list. It won't be in Telegram group because we are not sure if maybe it gets lost, if it's not pinned, and it doesn't seem that reliable. So those two.
And as well, I think what's more important is to keep the information back to the hub, because what we were discussing with people from Foundation yesterday, we are not here to do anything more than fill the gaps that we addressed in the last period, in the years with all of you. And this, the good work the hub can just do if we do have your specific needs. So tell Barbara if you need something, if you don't like something, because this is why Hub is here. Foundation, it's way too far away for this, and especially small communities or less development organizations, of course, are afraid to do so or are not sure, doesn't have capacity to do this. But when there is the chance, just tell Barbara if you need something, if there's a crisis, if you need something specific, if you miss a person for your conference, if you don't have, I don't know, resources for printing your materials that you need for your program, and then this all kind of work, because that's the net information that Hub is creating here. So for smaller, just stay in touch and address Barbara, and then, because she's here, she's the person who solves things, and she's the person who should contact you to anything you need.
And just to add one thing, thank you, Clara, but just to add, please also try to understand that it's two of us, it's 35 plus communities, individuals, however we call it, and that what you want, we also have at the same time requests from other people, so not every wish can be fulfilled, it's not realistic. Try to be also mindful about that. So we are trying to accommodate it or hear what you are saying and then find some middle solution or the best what we can for now. That's really important to also keep in mind. Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Maybe as a follow-up for Asaf, because I think maybe you meant not the communication channels, but the projects or the kind of the big questions that there are that we really need to answer.
Okay, thank you. Asaf? Can you hear? Who is one? Samat, do you want? Pasha? Ah, Pasha? No, Başak, not. If anyone wants, please raise your hand. Mikhail?
I can have one. So let's say that I'm having a pet project, and can I actually participate in this grant application? And can I have the support of the CEE hub, and how can I engage? If I have a pet project, basically, can I participate? How do I engage with you?
Maybe I should just go down, because we here have echo and we hear like really badly. So
Uh-huh.
as a steering committee member, you want some project?
No. Let's say that I'm just a person. I'm just a person from the region, and I have a project, and I would like to have the support from the CEE hub.
Okay, so that was happening during this year. It's like it was a procedure. We called several times. We wrote emails and messages to everyone that we have on the contact list if they want support with wrapping grants, some different grants, or in general creation of project, thinking about it, SWOT analysis, just making some structure. And we got back, several communities reached out, just to mention few, community from Cyprus, also Albanian user group. And then together with them, also someone from Slovakia, and then together with them, we were commenting. With some, we did only commenting. With others, we made suggestions or wrote some parts of the proposal, and then it was submitted. So procedure is really simple. Just get in touch. We will also announce calls, but you can do it on a regular basis, just getting in touch.
Thank you.
And it's not open for steering committee members. It's for people. Oh, yeah. If there are no questions and answers, we move on.
Maybe more questions? Anton.
Yes, thank you. So just, I think, to respond to Asaf's question and to Matt's question about like my take on one general thing that communities should really know about. I think that communities should really know about that the hub is here to support you, and the hub is here to provide you administrative support to boring stuff or difficult bureaucratic stuff that you maybe don't have enough capacity for, such as writing a grant application or figuring out event planning for your project and so on. The hub has expertise in doing these processes that maybe smaller communities don't have enough expertise, enough knowledge, and enough time for. And I guess my point is, don't hesitate to contact Barbara, to contact Tony, and ask for support with these administrative questions. And that's, of course, just like one point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Anton. Any other questions? Okay, then we can move to okay. If there is no any questions or suggestions or wishes, so we can move to approving, I guess, this plan for the next year. So, is anyone against about this plan, or we can approve? No one against. Okay, no one against, so then it's approved. So I just want to wish success for CEE Hub, and as a part of CEE community, well, I promise we will be active and will provide some support for CEE Hub if it's needed.
Thank you, Mehman. Okay, so now we come to the last part of the CEE Hub discussion. I know we've been here for a long time. It's quite warm in here. Philip has been waving something around for a long time. And the microphone is too short for me. So now we come to the people who are actually going to oversee this work. And there will be some changes to this. You'll see some familiar faces from last year. Maybe some people will leave. We'll come to that in a second. There might have been a spoiler earlier, so, you know. We are expanding like the steering committee to 10 members because we are, as you see, like we have more tasks and more projects going on. So in the sense of like that we also want to cover like the region better, we have like added 1 new member. So instead of like 9 members, as it was in the first year, we have 10 members this year. As Clara mentioned before, we have the CEE Hub wider group, which basically means like anyone who's interested in following what the CEE Hub is doing can join the status meetings, which we have every 2 weeks, and like listen to what's going on and support the CEE Hub in that way, and maybe think about it, and either like then talk to Barbara and Tony about how to like get support from the CEE Hub, or also talk to them about how they can like offer their knowledge and expertise to the CEE Hub. So everyone's welcome. There's a natural limit, of course, of like how many people could be in one of those meetings at the same time. But so far, we haven't had this problem of like too many people showing up to those meetings necessarily. The term for this new steering committee will run until the next CEE meeting in 2024, which will probably be like October or November, because Wikimania is going to be in July. Maciej is not nodding. So he's neither confirming or denying this, so we'll see when Wikimania is, so we'll also see when the next CEE meeting is. Yeah, before we come to the new steering committee, or the new steering committee and some new members, we would like to say goodbye to one old steering committee member who's not going to stay on, and that is Kabi. So Kabi has been very supportive and influential in the first year, and as you might guess, there are some personal developments on the way that might keep her from spending too much time on many things, and luckily she will be still on the Wikimania core team for next year. So you'll still see her around. Please Kabi. And a small gift as a symbolic like token of appreciation.
I also want to thank the steering committee, because I was the girl last year who just approached the steering committee, said, I want to be a part of it, please accept me, and they did. And it was really nice to be at the new beginning of something great, what has developed as much as it did in the first year. As already said, I will have several new births to see next year, Wikimania, something here. And so thank you all for support and being here and doing the stuff you do.
Okay, and now we come to the first new steering committee member, and that's Bajak. So the way how this will work is like every steering committee member will come up here and like just say a few sentences about themselves. So yeah.
Thank you very much. This is Başak from Turkey, and I'm very happy and honored to have this opportunity to work with this steering committee. I will try to become a bridge between, especially with the Turkic-speaking region of this lovely region, and hopefully be useful for building a stronger community here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, and I think we lined this up in a proper way, I hope, is Ivana. So Ivana Maciarewicz, so I'm back to butchering names as last year, but I think that was quite correct. She's also going to be joining the steering committee. She's the ED of Wikimedia Serbia, and we're very happy to have her, and she will also bring like a lot of expertise and knowledge into this process. So applause for Ivana. Okay, next up is Anton. Maybe we can, yeah. You see, this wasn't exactly planned out necessarily, but I think this will work. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Anton from Wikimedia Ukraine. I'm the programs coordinator of Wikimedia Ukraine, and also an admin and editor of Ukrainian Wikipedia in my spare time. I'm happy to continue supporting the CEE Hub, focusing primarily on supporting the Hub's assistance to campaigns like photo contests and article campaigns, Wikiloss Earth, Wikiloss Monuments, other campaigns the Hub can provide, can support communities with, and also support the Hub's communications in various ways. I am really happy to be here at the CEE meeting for the first time in person, and thank you everyone again.
Thank you. Next up is Kirill.
Hello everyone, my name is Kirill and I come from Macedonia. In the upcoming year, I will mostly engage with events, microgrants and governance. This means that I will provide support as a member of the steering committee to all communities that would like to get in touch with the CEE Hub regarding the organization of any type of events. I would also like to make connection between the CEE Hub and the support that it can provide to help Wikimania 2024 be the best conference in the movement ever. And I'm also glad that I will have a chance to work on the microgrants program, which will have to provide support to many communities in the CEE region and to support their great ideas about enriching the free content that we have on the Wikimedia projects. And I hope that I will also be beneficial for the development of a governance model which the CEE Hub should introduce in order that other regional hubs in the future and even the Wikimedia Foundation can adopt. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, I can do this. Sorry. Hi, I'm part of the wider group of the CEE Hub for several last years. I was part of the group that prepares the CEE Hub in the last 2 years. And in my main expertise here as a steering committee member is HR. I'm on a weekly basis with Barbara and Tony. We are solving the issues that comes up. I may supervise some of the more detailed project planning, and I'm just here for them in planning different meetings. And I'm as well Wikimedia Europe liaison and ED group liaison, which might change because we will have another ED. But for now, this is what I can offer as a steering committee member. Is there a question? Yeah, I can see. Oh, sorry. That's the informal group of all executive directors, which is like now, it's quite huge. It's like maybe 30 people now, and it's been there for years, quite supportive group as well on this horizontal level, and so that's what is.
So the question was what the ED group was, just to clarify that.
Is Barbara, as the Hub coordinator, also part of the ED group?
Not yet, because there are like, if you are looking for this or your ED is not part of this, he can be. There's, of course, on Meta, there is executive directors group webpage where are like the criteria when you can be part of this. And according to this, like, this is on the border with like Barbara because she's not ED, but she could be, I don't know this from head, but she needs to ask, she needs to apply to the all group and then she could be accepted. But not even Barbara, not Anna from Wikimedia Europe are not the members now.
Thank you. Sorry, that was loud. Next up is Micha.
Hello everyone. I'm Michał. I'm from Poland. You might know me if you attended this Wikimedia Summit pre-sessions, allegedly I was broadcasted to you, so this is me alive. So I'm from Poland, I'm from Central Eastern Europe, and actually I'm very proud and happy that the things that we started building together 15, 10, 5 years ago, that they are becoming larger and more beautiful and more stable. So here I'd like to help with ensuring stability and that this beautiful thing in this beautiful region can be still here with us to innovate, to give us resources that we create all the great things. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. So next up is me. I'll just move away from the other microphone. As I said at the beginning, my name is Philip Kubecki. I'm from Austria originally. I do live in London now, but I still have like close ties to Austria. And I'm essentially the person who the foundation can blame if they don't see any return for the money anymore. So I'm signing the grant, but I'm also like kind of also a bit like the chairperson in this group in making sure that like everything is working orderly and that we are like achieving the goals that we set out to do. Okay, so that's me. Thank you. And next up is Gerger.
Hi everyone, I'm Gergő from Hungary. I'm a MediaWiki developer and I'm hoping to help the... Too close? All right, usually I'm told I am too far from the mic, so I was overcompensating, I guess. So I'm Gergő from Hungary. I am a MediaWiki developer. I am hoping to help the CEE Hub focus on technology and tool adoption in the region. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or ideas or anything related to that. Thank you.
Thank you. And next up is Tony.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, my name is Tony Sant. I am from Malta, and this is why in my portfolio is included small communities, and this is defined very broadly. So even communities that are on the edge, on the periphery, on the side perhaps, or feel that they are too small for their voice to be heard. And this is my role to make sure that we come together to make our voices heard. Also, my portfolio includes education. In this first year, we have heard education listed on some documents, but not much action. But there has been a very successful EduWiki conference that took place just a few weeks ago in Serbia, and so we're hoping to build on this in the second year as well. So thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least is Wojciech, who left the stage for some reason.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Wojciech. I'm from Poland. I joined the steering committee a little bit before it was actually fixed steering committee, and I will be happy to serve for another year. Last year, I promised you I would be looking at the CEE Hub in the context of the Hub discussions that were rolling through AFCOM. I'm still an AFCOM member. Those discussions have gone to the Movement Charter, and I'm still willing to observe and lobby for the place of hubs within the global context of the Movement Charter. So this is the bridge I want to secure for us. The second bridge, of course, would be naturally Wikimania 2024, because I'm on the steering committee. So if there is a bridge between CEE Hub and Wikimania 24, and I'm sure there is one, I want to be the friendly troll guarding it. Thank you.
Thank you. So besides these 10 steering committee members you just met, there's also 2 advisors. One you saw today as well, which is Natalia Szafran-Kozakowska, as a volunteer support and foundation liaison person, helping us in that regard and like keeping communication channels open. And the other person is Delphine Menard, who helped us like onboard and recruit Barbara, for example, and has quite a lot of expertise in grant making as a former grant officer of the foundation, and also quite a lot of experience in HR. So that's like, when you look at all of this, it kind of shows you also like how much expertise is needed to run this kind of organization. So we are quite lucky to have all of you here to like support this process and make this work. So, Mehmet, do you want to ask the question again? There's no slide. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I did forget one point. I prepared this as like a kind of a visualization of like where everyone is located within the CEE region. And we did realize like last year we're a bit more too like Central Europe focused, and we are trying to remedy that a bit. And I think we've moved a bit more eastward this year. But if you, for example, are from the Caucasus or from Turkey or other places in Eastern Europe, just let us know, and you can join the wider group and then maybe one day be a steering committee member. So who knows? So now you can ask a question, Michael. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions for our future steering committee members? Or at least the whole process? Okay, then I'll say congrats for new steering committee, because there is no one against, I guess. Yes, so congrats. And let's take the group picture. Adem. From here. Yeah. Stay close. Say wiki. So, Tony, Barbara, maybe you will join. Now we will have proper image on MetaWiki.
So we are moving to the next topic, and it's an interesting and exciting one. It's about our next CEE meeting. So just to go a bit back, somewhere in May, June, we as a hub shared with you procedure about showing your interest for organizing CEE meeting, and there was outlined process how you can apply and which deadline you have, and there were two communities that made this bid or showed interest, and those are user group Turkey and Albanian language user group. So basically what will happen now, we have to establish a selection committee, which is partially established because we have already few members, 4. You can see their names on the screen. So there is Delphine. She was mentioned. She's our CEE Hub advisor. She's former Grant CEE officer, and she was involved in organizing several Wikimedia meetings. Jana from Macedonia, as you know her, she organized former CEE meeting. Okay, sorry, Jana, yes, please stand up. Jana is here, Delphine is not with us, but we can maybe make a photo for her and send her. And Jagro from Czech Republic. Is he? Yeah, great. So he will be part of the selection committee. And Maciej from Poland, he's organizer of Wikimania 2024. We are looking for one more selection committee member. And if you want to nominate someone or yourself, now is the time. You can do it today, or you can do it till 24th September, and I will tell you why. I will tell you why, and then you can say if you want to nominate. So a selection committee will be established. They will then work on criteria for selection, and somewhere by mid-October, they should be also, mid-end October, they should be making decision. So there is enough time that selected one can write grant application and then apply for this grant for organizing the conference. The criteria is, thanks for reminding me, you should have experience with organizing larger events, like larger, I would say 50 plus, not something very small local. And then also what experience that comes with that, organizing, logistics, yeah.
I would like to nominate Gabby as a member of this committee because she has lots of experience and I think it's not too hard for her in her conditions, if it's not opposed.
Since for the Wikimania 2024 we want to start scholarship process soon and I will be leading that process, then I'm really honored, but I have to say no.
So that's a no, but Maciej, want to say something, yeah? I thought that you want to nominate yourself and that you were making a joke, sorry.
Well, if you can give me 2 votes, I'd appreciate that. No, but I wanted to appreciate a new friend made here at the meeting, Dennis. Dennis represents Bosnian community. He is a technical person with experience in organizing large-scale hackathons and technological events. And he just now agreed that I can nominate him. So if there is nobody else, I submit this nomination.
Okay, that's good. We have 1 nomination. We will just ask you then to submit, like, shortly explanation of experience, and you will hear from us soon. If someone else doesn't want to come and say their name now, or someone else is, think about it and let us know. Also, you have to explain some experience and like, to be taken into consideration. Our aim is to have 5 selection committee members.
Thank you. I would like just to add that the people that you're looking for is recommended to be people who have organized the CEE meeting in the past. As you can notice, we have Jana, who was the main organizer of the CEE meeting in 2022. So just to remind all of you, the CEE meeting has taken place in Serbia 2 times, in Slovakia once in 2013, in Romania in 2016, and in Estonia in 2015. In Ukraine, yes, in 2018, and in 2017 it was in Poland. But we have Maciej as someone who is engaged with Wikimania 2024, so I think a person that might fill that position should be someone from either Ukraine, Romania, Estonia, or Serbia, or Slovakia. Or maybe Georgia, yeah.
Just like, so everyone can make nomination, and just to mention, it can't be persons who will have conflict of interest. For example, someone who is currently being in the process of selection, like some obvious things. But just to conclude, please get back to us on this. And now I would like to call those who showed interest to the stage, because they will briefly present to you Bashak and what now? Oh, sorry, my bad. So I'm not calling anyone.
No.
Yeah.
Just for I want to, the last one in the selection committee, maybe we can name someone from us if it allows the rules. Yes? Yeah. Then Mikhail maybe can join that committee is it okay for everyone? Yeah. Mikhail.
Okay. Just like also to clarify, like we've done this before. Like we had 2 bids in 2016. Anyone who's been at the 2016 CEE meeting can probably remember that midnight session where Poland and the Czech Republic were presenting the bids, and there were quite a few people still around, like watching that presentation. And we also did in 2017. So this is not a new process necessarily. So it's not just because one group like signs up first does it mean that like that process is a foregone conclusion. And I think it's also useful to like work with like the bids and figure out like maybe this is like 1 year too early, maybe like next year or like the year after. So just to make sure that like we have the best possible CEE meeting we can have. Okay, and now we are at the final part. Sorry, this took a bit longer than we expected. We're at the thank you part. So when it comes to CEE Hub, we especially want to thank Job and Chris Schilling from the foundation, who were very supportive in like setting all this up, and all the other people who were involved from the foundation. We also want to thank Wikimedia Polska as the fiscal sponsor who made all of this possible in a way by providing their services. And we also want to thank like the steering committee and the CEE Hub wider group who worked on this for like the last at least 3 years. And also everyone who took part like online, in any online sessions. This is a picture, you probably can't see it like from the CEE online meeting 2021 because those aren't commons. And everyone like from the international community who's shown interest in what we're doing and is like also sharing their experiences. One example is Wikimedia Indonesia, who like service 8 different languages in their country, and are kind of like a hub in a way. And it was really interesting, like also learning from them about their processes and how they work. And last but not least, all of you who've been here at the CEE meeting, have been at our workshops, are here right now after 1 hour and 20 minutes, still here. And yeah, thank you to everyone. So, round of applause. This is just the attribution page, but special thank you to this dog who's outside, I think, most of the time, lying around, and he just joined us and was our companion while we were working on these slides. So thank you to that dog. Here, and then Barbara, maybe.
We have one more announcement, and that is that Natalia Timkiv also wrote to me just now that she is a candidate for selection committee. So we have 3, and well, that's really great. Thank you, Natalia, for messaging. We will come back to you within a week, max. And now, last but not the least, I'm calling out Natalia because we have some special moment. We want to celebrate something, someone. Yeah, it will take some time, but it's coming. So after all technical, future, past things, we are coming to something nice.
Okay, so apparently my specialty is confusion because I thought that this will come later, so I'm here super spontaneous and surprised. Okay, so as we all know, the Wikimedia movement would not exist without the thousands of volunteers who are tirelessly working on writing articles, deleting articles, improving articles, uploading photos, editing Wikimedia sister projects, and doing all that work. And many times we don't appreciate it enough. We are not seeing like the human beings behind the Wikimedia content that is being created. And we have so many people to celebrate and appreciate, and this is why the Wikimedia Foundation started Wiki Celebrate, which is a kind and nice and simple project in which we each month select one person from the movement who we celebrate for their tireless attribution and work and contribution to the free knowledge. And this time, we selected this person together with the CEE Hub. Thank you, Tony and Barbara. And so I promised this person that she wouldn't have to speak, so there won't be a long speech, but I would like to invite Vera to the stage to receive her appreciation. For those who don't know her, she is a person who started by just clicking a red link on Wikipedia and wanting to add something that was missing, which is an open path, and is right now a tech contributor working on Wikidata, connecting her Wikipedia to the global movement and doing so many things, from helping with meta pages on her project to helping newbies and doing so many amazing things, which we as a movement appreciate so much. So there's a certificate for you. There will be a Barnstar coming. Barnstar is also, thank you.
Thank you all. That's all I have to say. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you. And if you feel like there are many people like who you would like to also celebrate, there is a meta page. Of course, there is a meta page. What would we do without the meta page? If you will type Wiki Celebrate at Meta, you will find a page where there is a nomination form when you can nominate. And please do the amazing people you appreciate and want to be celebrated. So.
Okay, so let's take a small break and then we start the closing part of our event. So let's take 20 minutes and you can return on 20 minutes, like at 15:40. We can take 20 minutes as a break, and let's return and 15:40. 40 is 20 minutes, even 23. 27?
So it's 30, he wanted at 40.
Yeah. 45, okay.
So quarter to.
Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone to coming back after the small break. So we are on the final stage of our conference. It's closing ceremony. Finally, we make it after the 4 days learning, after the learning days and 3 days of the conference. As tradition, after the whole conference, I just want to remind that, of course, this is not the ideal conference, but we make what we can. And we need to know what do you think about our conference, what we make well, what we fail, and your suggestions for our next host country and host organizers. So I'm kindly asking you to fill the post-conference survey. The link is on Telegram chats. Also, you can scan this QR code and fill on the spot the survey. Or you can do it on, when you return to your home country, but our experience shows that no one does this. So please kindly do it now, because we don't want to send you 5 emails per week to remind you, please fill out this survey. So please do it. It takes maximum 6-7 minutes. It's mainly closed questions, but with small open questions which needs your input and suggestions for the next conference. And we need to know where we are strong and where we failed. So please do it. Yes, link is on channel. So I'll wait 1 minute to everyone scan this QR code, and then we'll move forward. Yeah, if you are not scholarship recipient, you didn't need to answer that question. Please move forward. It's not the, it's optional question, so you can move forward if you are not scholarship recipients. Scholarship recipients, it's delegates. Okay, I think it's enough, and now I need to move forward and give the floor to our next CEE meeting host candidate countries representatives. I'll start with A words, so it means Albania. So please, representative of Albanian language user group, come on the stage. You can move this one.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, Maman, and thank you, Georgia team, for organizing a great conference. Those that do conferences know how much work it takes and effort. So in a year from now, you could be in Prizren, Kosovo. I'm Arjanet from Wikimedians of Albanian Language User Group, and Greta from the board is also here with us. We are offering to be your hosts next year. So the setting is Prizren, Kosovo. Kosovo is very friendly to foreigners. Several languages are spoken, in addition to Albanian, so English, German, Turkish, Serbian, are spoken quite widely, and Prizren is known for bringing civilizations together, and it's known as a city of culture. It hosts an annual documentary film festival with 15,000 international participants. So it's a fun city. Our proposed venue is at the Innovation and Training Park. It's just outside of Prizren. It has lots of space, informal and formal, and we have it basically pretty much to ourselves. For accommodation, we're proposing it to be on campus, and but there are also hotels quite close, like 15 minutes away. The team, in addition to the Wikimedians of Albanian Language User Group, we are using our fiscal sponsor, which is FLOSC, an NGO in Kosovo, fully fledged and working since 2009, with lots of experience. And so, of course, we are also, so FLOSC has done quite a few conferences in this venue at ITP since 2019, and the last one was FOSS4G, which is a GIS conference organized with 680 attendees, so quite a big conference. And of course, we also look forward to working with the CEE community. Getting there, Prizren has good access from Pristina International Airport, but Tirana and Skopje, which some of you flew when you got into Ohrid, and you know them well. So they are also quite close. Has quite a few low-cost carriers, but also good connections to Istanbul, if you're coming from the east, and from the west, Vienna, Zurich, and Frankfurt. Unfortunately, we have to go through a visa process with some of the countries' delegates, and, but we will do this remotely, and we will support the process fully and get them by mail. So what we offer is a relaxed, intimate environment in a small city worthy of your time. A team with experience in event organizing and budget management. We will also apply for other sources of support other than the foundation. And of course, we hope to see you in Prizren in a year from now, roughly, I understand. And thank you, Madloba and Faleminderit. If you have questions, feel free to talk to us later. We only have 3 minutes.
I already talked with so many of them.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you to Albanian language team. And now I want to invite the representatives. The second application, Başak Zafer, Turkey.
Hello, we are from Turkey, and we are willing to host this event next year in Istanbul, which is a great city. It straddles between two continents that our CEE region is based and easily accessible, having two great international airports, one of them which is a mega travel hub, the Istanbul airport. And the good news is that all our colleagues from Wikimedia can come without any visa requirements. Some of you even can come without carrying your passports. This map shows, green and blue ones shows those places that you can come without any visa requirements. And one good reason to come to Istanbul is that there's a great active community of Wikimedians in this city, and there's a growing user group who have started to get some experience in hosting some international events as well. Last year, around this time, we had Wikidata conference, where we had some of you, some Turkic Wikimedians, and next month, we will also be hosting our friends from Turkic countries. And we are planning to use all these experience coming from those events for hosting our friends from larger CEE region. What we are planning is to organize an event in a central place where our participants can easily discover the city using public transport, have accommodation at walking distance, and provide good food. And I know that Wikimedia Georgia has raised the standards a lot in this meeting, so I don't know what we will do. And we are planning to break a record. This photo shows the largest number of Wikimedians carrying eyeglasses, passing from one continent to another, using a public transport boat. Next year, if we can, if we can organize this event together, we are willing to break this record together with this CE group. Thank you.
So thanks to both candidates for their ideas for the next CE meeting. And as you know, the selecting committee will select next host. Maybe, I guess, by the end of November, we will know the next host country of CE meeting. And as a representative of Georgian Wikimedia Community User Group, we will share differently our experience with our colleagues. I don't know who will be, but we'll share it with both of them. So, thank you. Now I want to say thanks to our partners who will support us during this conference. I'll start with Tbilisi State University, because without their input and without their buildings, we can't organize this conference in these historical buildings. I just want to remind that this building was built in 19th century. In our one, where we have 3 days conference, was built during the Second World War. So thanks for the Tbilisi State University. I want to say thanks to program committee. Some of the members are from the CE Hub, and CE Hub will support us during this process. So thanks to CE Hub and the program committee. I want to say thanks to all of us speakers. Unfortunately, some of the speakers can't make it because of the COVID and our issues, but most of you was delivered your presentations during this 3 days conference, so thank you to you all. And most important, thank you to you all as representatives of your community and for your coming to the Georgia. And at the end, so as you know, without family we are nothing, and I'm nothing without my team, the Wikimedia Community User Groups team. So I want to thanks to all Wikimedia Georgia's members, especially Mikhail, Jaba, David, Georgi, and our volunteers, Mariam, Nino, Anano, Nikolos, Giga, Akaki, Zura, Nino. So please come to the stage. Let's go. And our team consists not all just by Georgians. We also have the international persons in our team. And I want to thanks to Caner for your design and for Adem to taking photos during this full 3-day conference. As I said, without these people, I'm nothing, because they are my hands.
Yeah, and of course, big thanks to you and really all of your team, because you were wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
it was
very
great
much.
and pleasure to be here.
Let's take a group photo. Yes. So once again, thanks to my team. And I'm hoping that you are still feeling that survey, because I don't want really to send the reminding emails 10 times per week. So now it's 16:10. Basically, that's all what you want to hear from me. I don't know what you want to hear from me, but basically it's that. So someone please give the mic for... Yes, I will provide after that the organizational information, and I'll give you the back, like at least 40 minutes of your life back to you to use this opportunity to, I don't know, to buy some gifts or use this time, because many of you was leaving Tbilisi like at the morning, next day. So I don't want to like keep you here. Matej?
My question was about the public broadcaster tour. Are we still meeting up here?
Okay, so organizational question. The public broadcaster tour will lead by Mikhail. It's at 6 p.m. He's already informed you that you need to gather in front of the first building, this building. Mikhail, can you come here and provide more information? And after that, I will provide the information about the dinner, because many things depends on this tour.
Public broadcasters building is so close to this university, and we will gather in front of the first building, 5:40, and then we can go together. 40 or 45.
Just small information. Bring with you ID, because it's need to be entered the building with ID. Without ID cards or passports, ID or passport. About the dinner, who will join this tour? They can join the second group of dinner, like from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And people who will staying here, they're not participating in this tour, they can join the first group from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dinner at the Delegates Hotel, Tbilisi Philharmonic Hotel. Any other questions? There will be khachapuri too. But unfortunately not the Georgian wine.
What about the early leavers? Do you have any bus
Yes,
or transport information?
as it's indicated in the guide, the first bus will leave 1 a.m. this morning, like night, and who are traveling like from 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. can join. But 4, 5, and 6 a.m. we also organize the second bus at 2 a.m., like 3 hours before their flight. So it's enough time to check the clearance and for check-in process and boarding process, of course. First bus, it's 1 a.m., second, 2 a.m. Of course, your hotel, Tbilisi Philharmonic. Any other questions? Ivana?
How early we should go to the airport? Is it enough hour earlier or 2 hours?
If your flight not from like night hours, so you can take the public transport. In front of the hotel, there is bus 337, and it directly goes to the airport. So you can use the public transport. You can pay for public transport with your Visa, Master, American Express bank cards.
Okay, specifically, if my plane
On the bus, on the metro, everywhere there is public transport.
Specifically, if my plane leaves 4 a.m., should I go with 1 a.m.
4 a.m., so you
2
can take 1 a.m. transfer.
Can I take 2 a.m.? No?
I can't promise that security checking will...
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't know how much time it will take, so
Thank you.
that's why...
1 a.m. it is.
Yeah.
I think the buses is until 12 o'clock, no?
Yes.
At night.
Public transport or by...
It says now it's 1 o'clock, so...
Well, people can use 1 hour or 2 hours for rest, so why not?
Special.
Okay, if there is no other questions, I once again say thank you for joining Wikimedia CEE meeting and see you at the next Wikimedia conference.